Today I'm going to show you the easiest way to install a fully working Ubuntu 26.04 LTS, also known as Resolute Raccoon, on an external SSD or USB drive. This is perfect if you are a beginner and you don't want to touch your Windows installation or your personal files at all. Ubuntu is one of the most popular Linux distributions out there. It's known for being stable, have a huge software library and getting long-term support, which means years of update without needing to reinstall anything. And what we are doing today isn't just booting into a live session to try it out. This is a full portable operating system install. You'll be able to boot it up on almost any computer you plug it into. You can also think of this as a dual boot setup where every time you turn on your PC, you get to choose between Windows and Ubuntu. And before we get started, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, it really helps the channel grow. Alright, let's get into it. First, let's go over what you need for this. You'll need the Ubuntu 26.04 LTS ISO, then the Rufus tool for creating a bootable USB, or USB drive that is at least 8 GB for the installer itself, and then your external SSD or a USB drive. I recommend at least 64 GB, and in my case I'm using a 256 GB drive. You'll also need a PC that can boot from USB, and it's a good idea to have secure boot disabled before we start. Let's start by disabling secure boot. Restart your PC, and as it's booting up, press F2, escape or delete, whichever key brings up to your BIOS or UEFI settings. Once you are there, head over to the security or boot tab, then find the secure boot option and disable it, then save your changes and exit. Secure boot is a feature that only allows officially signed software to run when the PC starts up. Ubuntu actually supports secure boot out of the box, but on some machines it can cause issues with third-party drivers, especially graphics drivers, refusing to load properly. Disabling it just removes that potential headache, so things go smoothly during and after install. Next, go to Ubuntu's official website, that's ubuntu.com/download/desktop. Then choose Ubuntu 26.04 LTS and click on download. Care about your system's architecture, whether it's x86 system or ARM based system. The ISO file is around 6 GB, so this might take a little while depending upon your internet speed. While that's downloading in the background, let's grab Rufus. Just go to rufus.ie and download the latest version for your system. It's a lightweight tool, no installation required, you just run it. Alright, at this point I've got both files downloaded. Let's make our bootable USB. Plug in your installer USB, open Rufus, and then under device select your USB stick, and under boot selection click select and choose the Ubuntu ISO file you just downloaded. And then click start, and if any prompts pop up, just confirm them. Rufus might tell you that it's an ISO hybrid image and asks you how you want to write it. Just go with write in ISO image mode. Then just sit back and wait. This usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. While that finishes up, plug in your external SSD or USB drive where you want to install Ubuntu. And if you're on a laptop, go ahead and plug it into a power source now, because we don't want the install interrupted by a dead battery. Now let's boot into the installer, restart your PC and press your boot menu key, that's usually F12, F10, delete or escape depending upon your motherboard. From the boot menu, select the installer USB and Ubuntu will load up into the live session. As soon as we boot into the Ubuntu ISO, the first thing we get is a language selection screen. Just pick your language and move on. Next up is the accessibility option. This is just for things like screen readers, larger text or high contrast. If you don't need any of this, you can simply skip past it. After that, we get to choose our keyboard layout. In my case, I'm going to choose English UK. Pick whatever matches your keyboard and continue. Now it asks to connect to the internet. Connecting here lets the installer grab driver updates and security patches while it installs, but this is completely optional, so for this install we are going to skip it. Here we get a choice, try Ubuntu or install Ubuntu. Try Ubuntu boots into a temporary desktop where you can test if your hardware works properly without changing anything on your PC. But for this video we are going straight ahead and clicking install Ubuntu. Next, the installer asks whether we want an interactive installation or an automated installation or automated with landscape. Interactive is just a normal guided setup where you click through each screen yourself. Automated is meant for advanced users who want to preload their settings and skip the manual clicking. It's useful if you are setting up a bunch of machines at once. We are choosing interactive here since that's the standard path for most people want. Now pick between default selection and extended selection. Default gives you a minimal, clean version of Ubuntu with just the essentials so you can add applications yourself later. Extended comes with bundled extra office tools and utilities right out of the box. I'm going with default for this install since it keeps things lighter. Right after that, there's a checkbox to install third-party software. This basically means proprietary driver and codecs that are not open source, like your graphics card drivers and Wi-Fi drivers, plus supporting for playing certain media formats. Go ahead and check that box since it just makes your hardware work better right from the start. At this point, we are shown the option to install Ubuntu alongside with other operating system if one is detected on the machine. We're not doing that here. We're going to do a clean install of Ubuntu on our own separate drive. And now this is a crucial part, so pay close attention. We need to select the correct drive. In this case, I'm choosing the 256 GB SSD. On this screen, you'll see 3 different disks listed. One is your internal drive, one is your external SSD, and the third is the installer USB itself. Carefully identify and select the external SSD, which shows up as SDP in my case. Once you have confirmed that that's the right one, then click Next. Now we're on the encryption screen. Encryption locks your entire drive behind a passphrase, so if the drive ever gets lost or stolen, nobody can read your file without that passphrase. I'm simply going to leave encryption off and continue with no encryption selected for this install. Here we can set up our account details, your name, your computer's name, your username and your password. There's also a checkbox asking whether you want to require password to log in, which just adds a login screen every time you start your PC instead of logging in automatically. I'm leaving that at its default setting. Once everything is filled in, click Next. And after that, we choose our time zone, select your location and move on to the next screen. Now we get to the review screen where we can see exactly what changes are about to happen both on the disk and in the system. Take a moment to go through everything carefully, and once you are confident it's all correct, click Install. You'll see a slideshow pop-up walking you through some of Ubuntu's features while it installs in the background. The whole process takes around 10 to 15 minutes depending upon how fast your hardware is. Once the installation wraps up, it will ask you to restart now. Go ahead and click that. Ubuntu will ask you to remove the installer USB and make sure you take it out at this point. As the system reboots, press your boot menu key to bring up boot options and select your external SSD from the list. After that, from the GRUB boot menu, choose Ubuntu. Ubuntu will boot up normally and you are all set. You're in the Ubuntu desktop, everything looks fine. Again, restart to boot into Windows. From the boot menu, choose Windows Boot Manager. This will boot you into Windows 11. Everything is fine here. One important note, if you disconnect the external SSD and try to boot, you might see a GRUB screen instead of Windows. Don't worry, nothing is broken. Your system is trying to boot from the external drive but can't find it. To fix this, press boot menu key during startup and manually select Windows Boot Manager. This will load Windows 11 normally. Or go into BIOS settings and move Windows Boot Manager to the top of the boot priority list. This way, when the external SSD isn't connected, Windows will always boot normally without any extra steps. And that's it, you have now got a full portable version of Ubuntu 26.04 LTS running on your external SSD using a simple beginner friendly method. I hope this method helped you out. And if you have any questions or run into any issue along the way, drop a comment below. I read every single one and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.